Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Friday's stream. I'm your host, the lazy, flawed man of God, given in to sloth this evening. This is my flaw. I'm a deacon at a small church just outside of Richmond, Virginia. I'm not a pastor, biblical scholar, and I'm not at seminary. Not trying to get you to join my church or any special cause. What I'm here today is to talk about whatever you want to talk about within reason. There's always an asterisk. There's always an asterisk. And that's what we're going to do tonight. But I'm leave it up to you guys. Come up with something to talk about. I spend all week directing the conversation. I decide if we're going to be reading from the Bible, if I can get a guest on or whatnot. Tonight it's time for the listeners, to the viewers, to the chat, all you folks, all you fine fellows and fellettes, to tell me what to talk about. All right, the dichotomy of good and evil. On one side, you have Notre Dame, Fighting Irish football team. And on the other side, you have the Ohio State Buckeyes, Fighting Irish good, Buckeyes evil. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Is Sam Hyde supposed to be fighting tomorrow? I thought about TED Talks, and I remember Sam Sam Hyde's got a fight coming up on the 27th. Dichotomy of good and evil. Do you have a format for that underneath? Are we going to do it? You want to know what's good and evil? Read The Lord of the Rings, which will lay out for you what is good and evil. And thus is a good book series. Then you can read Game of Thrones. And literally, the only value in Game of Thrones is shock value. I can't even believe for a moment that even all the gratuitous other content in the in Game of Thrones is appealing. I read the book series, and it was a fun read. But I tried restarting it, and it wasn't really all that appealing. Like, I was not interested in reading it again. I could read the Silmarillion. In fact, I probably should read it soon. Right now I'm doing Musashi, and then I'm doing Musashi's book to find out which one's better. But Game of Thrones, way overhyped. TV show, obviously we learn what happened. September 2nd is coming up. And that means the Rings of Power series is coming out. I'm not going to be in a good mood. I don't like people ruining the things that I love. Oh, yeah. Also, good creates, evil destroys. But book series is a good thing to talk about, right? Anybody here read Jack Ryan? Tom Clancy? I'm a huge Tom Clancy fan. Started what was my first Tom Clancy book? It was either Red Storm Rising or Clear and Present Danger. Now, Red Storm Rising, yeah, well, let me show you my age. Also, Tom Clancy's priceless. And also, Tom Clancy was ruined by Amazon. So, Amazon ruined Tom Clancy or the Jack Ryan series. Followed it up with an absolutely, and I haven't watched the movie. I hear it's a decent action movie, but it has nothing to do with the actual plot of Without Remorse. Without Remorse is a great plot. Without Remorse is where I try to tell everybody to get started with. Oh, yes, that's right. I need to read the John Carter series. I got the look. I like the movie for what it was. I haven't read the books, John Carter. I haven't read the books, but if the books put the movie to shame, oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do it right after I finish Musashi. I forgot I had that on my list too. Dune. All right, so I didn't particularly like Dune. I liked where Frank Herbert was going with Dune, how he set everything up in the first book. I thought that the things were I thought it was set up to be a great set up to be a great series. And then it goes downhill from there. It goes absolutely downhill from there. I did not enjoy Dune, the latter Dunes. I thought Aaliyah's story arc was disappointing. And I thought the Duncan, Idaho arc was weird. Weird to the point where I think Frank Herbert was a pervert. Frank Pervert. Not just an environmentalist. I liked but I liked where he was going with so much. And I liked the backstory. And be honest with you, what I did love about the Dune series was Kevin J. Anderson and Brian Heber's prequel stuff. The Butlerian Jihad series, the prequel series, the House trilogy, and the other stuff. I thought it's very I guess you could call it like milk toasty sci-fi, but it's fun. It's fun, and you're playing with the elements of Dune. Best thing about Dune is Sting. Sting was awesome. And I remember watching it, so I read I was in Iraq, and so the Marines had set up at the base we were at. The Marines had set up this thing they called the Marine Net, and basically it was like barracks discount version of LimeWire, but basically it was just basically a shared drive, and everybody and it was huge, and everybody just dumped all their media on there. So much music to pull from, like a ridiculous amount of movies, and so Dune was on there, and I remember Dune the video game because I'm a big real-time strategy fan. Dune the video game, so it's like, let me see what the movie's all about. Watch the movie, and the whole time I'm like, this is trippy. This is weird. And I realized how far off from the beaten path it was. How politically incorrect that book is, too. It's pretty politically incorrect. Except for it's very women. Dune was very women's lib. Dune's very women's empowerment. But apparently, so did you know the Bene Gesserit was basically a renaming of the Jesuits? Haven't watched New Dune yet. I really want to. 1984 Dune was just weird, but it got me interested. Miniseries Dune I liked with William Hurt. I thought that was pretty good. It was a little weird, but like the outfits and everything, they're all like way over the top, but you kind of get the impression that things then are way over the top. It's Maeve. Underneath, Asimov and Heinlein are good for sci-fi. Let me try this. Let me start getting in the habit of doing this. Asimov and Heinlein are good for sci-fi, but the weird later Heinlein gets a pass from me. What did they do? Conan. Conan's another one I need to read. Nico. Yeah, I thought Dune was an earnest attempt to build like the sci-fi version of Lord of the Rings fantasy, but it didn't get there. New Dune stopped at a weird part. Should have stopped that intro for Shaddam the Fourth. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing it. I'm interested in seeing it. Like there's so much to build from it. So that that's a series that somebody could take and actually improve upon it, I think. But I don't know. Like I said, I like the prequel books, and I actually haven't. I don't think I've read Navigators of Dune yet. I probably should do that. But if I do that, I'm going to get way back into reading the series again. John Carter does. John Carter needs to be on my short list. Musashi is huge. His book is ginormous. Heinlein got to a point where dude brain swaps into chick body and dates everyone. That's we're getting dangerously close to something there. Dangerously close. So weird. Yeah, sci-fi for me, I don't like heavy sci-fi. I don't like heavy sci-fi. I like my sci-fi like I like my western movies. Simple. I like most of my fiction novels to be like I like my western movies to be simple and good guy wins in the end. It's the part of escapism I like. Lots of times I have to watch, and one of the things I can't stand is seeing injustice happen. Then when I realize that happens, the it angers me, it irritates me, and it's difficult for me to get past it. Which is why I'm always trying to correct people on the internet, which I shouldn't do, which is stupid. Especially when I may not be right either, and I'm definitely not going about it in the best way. But no, like my escapism is seeing things work out the way that they should, or in a unique way. At the end of things. Have you read the French comic westerns? No. Carries on the spaghetti western tradition. Blueberry is a classic. Are they movies or are they books or comics? Are they in French? Does he say I'm your blueberry instead of I'm your huckleberry? I like watching westerns. It makes me a lot of westerns I've watched with my dad, and I am blessed enough that my dad is still with us. But I know that when he is gone, that's going to be an important, and those are going to be important memories for me. A lot of it was me down. So my house, or my parents' house, um, downstairs was the den, right? That was where, sometimes we would eat, but it was where we would always watch movies, and you could usually find dad after dinner down there. vegging out, watching TV, and a lot of like I remember watching Star Trek: Next Generation, just kind of laying on top of him watching when I was my son's age and younger, just sit there watching stuff, and then watching movies at other times from all ages, all types of different movies. But the ones that stick with me the most are we used to never miss a Star Trek Next Generation uh, episodes on Saturdays on Fox, and watching a bunch of westerns, especially once we got cable, because we didn't have cable until I was in middle school. Comics, full stories, non-truncated, many in English. No, I haven't seen this. Terror on the Prairie. Is it? What's it about aside from terror and prairies? I haven't seen any of the new westerns. A lot of new movies are. I don't get excited about new movies. I got really excited about Top Gun after a lot of apprehension. It took a lot. It took a lot of people saying it was good for me to trust going to see it, and I was not disappointed. Clock Razor Fist on YouTube. Check probably means check. Check Razor Fist on YouTube for good recommendations. French turned me on to classic fantasy, pulp fiction, and now French comics. I don't know. That sounds like something in surrender language, cowardly language. You know, I hear a lot, and I've seen a few tweets from Razor Fist. Never checked out his channel. I probably would like it. Probably disagree with him a few times. Survival movie. Gina Carano. She getting her love from the right wing for getting canceled by the left. No, I haven't seen it. I haven't even heard of it. I did the dumbest thing, and this is because I guess I live under a rock. So I can't remember what I was watching on YouTube, but afterwards it was a movie trailer for the movie The Case for Christ. Then I thought it was a new movie coming out because I hadn't seen the previews. I didn't know it had come out or whatever. And I was typing to some of my buddies. I was like, "Oh man, look, it's coming out! Look, it's coming out!" And someone goes, "You mean the one that came out like 5 years ago?" And I looked at, I'm like, "No, I just saw the preview for it." Um, and then I look down and go back to check the video, and the trailer for it says 5 years ago, posted 5 years ago. I go, rocks are good. What are rocks? The man is a based wordsmith of insults. I know as an army guy, the language won't bother. Oh no, the language won't bother me, dude. I was listening to Nick's stream from Wednesday, whichever one was his first one back, and it was like 6 hours and some change. Dude, he had me rolling. Oh yeah, it sometimes feels good to live under a rock. I don't watch the news all that much. I know I keep current enough to know, and I have enough conversations with people where we post links about stuff that's happening. Like for instance, Gavin Newsom apparently is thinking about introducing legislation to keep California residents from moving to Texas and Florida. I hope that happens. Just from a chaos perspective. Look at the language doesn't bother me. I have a pretty colorful language that sometimes shocks my wife. Even after all these years, I'll come up with some saying that she's never paid attention to before that I haven't used that yet. Just whip that thing out. And she goes, Shocked. We'll get you out of there, Nico. Blaine said, I love finding people under rocks. Explaining the internet and anime to them is always fun. How far into the anime do you get? Oh, let's not talk about Newsom. Jersey already. See, look, no, you don't want to go. Everybody's going to go straight into politics. Stop this. I know I have all these opinions, and I try to keep this as clear as possible. I told you, but hey, I said whatever's going on. Jersey already has a tax that you have to pay when you move out of state as a percentage of value of home if you've owned it in the last 5 years. That's awful. I rather enjoy the creative use of colorful metaphors myself as well. All the way. Oh, so you just like putting people into shell shock, Blaine. There's my wife. Talk about trimming your stash. Let's talk about and the car needs an inspection. She's probably going to pull out bills I need to go take care of. All right. So let's talk about my wife coming up with content. The history of the beard that I wear. It's not fake. It's beautiful. It's 100%. It's 100%. So I used to be very clean shaven. I tried doing the goatee thing. And wife is blowing up the Facebook chat right now. She's appalled I'm on here with a white shirt on. just an undershirt. Tells me I need a nap. I do need a nap. But I got a stream. I got a show. I got to come on after this. I'll be fresh for that ish. I won't be this relaxed. So years ago. No, it was a goatee. Like it was like the thing back in this was back in like 2004, 2005, when people were doing them a lot more often. But then you have to shave it for the military stuff. So it's around 2012. No, internet. We're not getting into that. Here's my cup kit. Here's my cup, wife, that you got me. Thank you. All right. So it's 2012. Never grown a beard before. They get it. The facial hair gets itchy. I get upset with it. I shave it off. So, New Jersey Devils. I'm a hockey fan. New Jersey Devils. That's my team. They make it into the playoffs. They just kind of sneak into the playoffs. Didn't really belong there. So I said, so they're going into the Stanley Cup playoffs. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do a playoff beard. And as long as they're winning, as long as they're in the playoffs, I'm going to keep the beard. Or I'm not going to shave. And my wife looks at me and she goes, "You're never going to stick with this. You're never going to stick with this." And she said, I said, "Well, we'll see." Well, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with hockey and the Stanley Cup playoffs, but they last for like 2 months. This playoff goes, and the Devils just 5 games, 6-game series, boom, 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 all the way up to to game 6 of the Stanley Cup playoffs and they lose, and the LA Kings win. And but at that point, my beard had gotten out, 2 months worth of growth, and I kind of liked it. I liked how it was coming in. I looked like a new man. No, all right. So the in hockey, in the playoffs, they have 1 or 2 days in between playoff games. They don't play, back-to-back nights and then maybe have a day off when they're moving to the different city. No, they take an extra day or 2 off in between. So the whole thing it just takes forever. And there you go. So, so at the time, my brother was engaged, and most of the folks in his wedding party had beards. So I was like, well, I'll just keep the beard, and then I'll shave it afterwards. I'll shave it after the wedding. And so after the wedding, so I kept it. So that was most of the summer, pretty much all summer. And then after the wedding, like the next day, the day we get home, I shaved the beard off. And like the second day, my wife looks at me and she goes, "You got to bring that back." So apparently, my wife is disgusted by my face, and she is happy that I have a beard to I have a beard to cover it up. So, Blaine Chapman, how does this work? Tell me something you want me to talk about. Tell me something you say something you want to talk about. So, good thing they suck and you haven't had to do that since. Whatever. She's such a liar. She hates it when I even like go to a close cut beard. Like if I trim this up, she would be mad at me. From the moment she saw it. Beard hides a weak chin. I don't have a strong chin. Don't have a strong chin. What's going on, Mr. Pressgrove? Hope you're doing well. Hope the chickens and ducks and other fowl business that you're in is doing okay. Hope work is okay. What's going on, Dresden? Talk about how you don't combine the two chats, expose us to the Facebook crowd. Well, the reason I don't do that is because I'm a boomer and I don't understand how to. I don't know how that works. This is, by all accounts, a very amateur stream. And I really don't have much that I want to do to improve it. I would like to do an intro. I would like to have an intro song. I have some songs I would like to use as intro. I cannot talk. I cannot get in touch for some reason with the folks who I need to get permission to use it, because I think it would be really cool. Yeah. Oh, duplicate monitors? No, I haven't done a sleep study. I hear you, Mike. Always think about you. Hope tell the wife I said hi. She's a great lady. No, I have not done a sleep study. I'm not usually really tired unless I'm up for a long time. If I've been burning the candle at both ends, then I'll have that day where I'm like, just need to go to bed early and just wake up, reset. There you go. Yes, Nico, it does. from time to time. Not enough for her to kill me, but enough for her to bring it up from time to time. Oh, nice. Your setup's better than mine. I need to do that. So my monitors, Blaine, are like right next to each other because I like the move between them. Because I also use it for work. I like them to be right next to each other, but I feel like my I feel like I need to get that camera because I moved the camera and I'm constantly repositioning it. I don't necessarily like I don't know. I feel like the angle's good enough. What up, King? Other Paul? Paul, look, I'm getting close. So, Paul, what I want you to come on the show to talk about is the first thing I want you to come on here to talk about is Reformed theology and explain it. Because I'm going to do it because I do a terrible time. I'm probably going to just trip over myself because one, I don't really like Calvinism that much. I don't knock people for being Calvinist. The memes are great. I love the memes. The running jokes with them are great. It's just I can't get behind it, and because I feel like it doesn't run with the overarching. Well, I don't want to get in an argument about it. I just want to bring you on to talk about it. So I think that's what I'll start you off with, and then bring you on for other cool stuff, for some other cool topics with the Bible, so that we can hear it in your fake Australia accent. So Blaine says my setup is 10 years of streaming. I bought an under counter fridge for the food truck, and it's the wrong depth. You got to measure. Cut twice, measure once. Thanks, Paul. Hope everything's going well with you. What's the picture on the wall? All right, so you got right there. That's the C5r. C5r Corvette at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It's signed by all the print is a numbered print signed by all the drivers. I'm a big fan of Corvettes. I've been trying to convince Nick to buy one, even though I don't like that they put the engine in the back. I don't like that they put the engine in the back. I feel that's very antithetical to the Corvette line. But I think they look like generic European supercar now. They're nice. There's no getting past it, and I know they're fast. And they can probably carve up a road. But and then no. The vets are not dying out. Woo. The Challenger's still on board too. Challenger's still doing without. They've been running some electric Challenger concept that's been picking up social media. But yeah. So that's the Daytona. Then if you guys what this is, that's my Notre Dame tin that I like having up there. And then over here you've got my favorite model. It's a 59. 1960 is okay. It's basically the exact same car. 59 Corvette, that's a solid axle Corvette's first generation. And then in front of that's a origami crane that my son made about 6 months ago. Kid's bright. takes a lot of his creation, his imagination and desire to create from my dad, I think. So seems to have been quite a while since muscle cars actually look good. I like how they look now. I like the Challenger and I like the Mustang. The Camaro kind of disappointed me. I read that book in 4th grade, Blaine. It was sad. It was kind of sad. Always had an interesting perspective on. No, I'm not talking. The Mach E is not a Mustang, Blaine. I always had a more interesting perspective on because I've always been a World War II history buff. Always been a military, especially aviation, history buff. Um, love learning about it, love talking about it, love seeing the stuff, and it's it always put a unique perspective on it because I learned about that bombing and read that book at such a young age. It was very interesting to see that not everything ended with that mushroom cloud dissipating. Hoo-wee. So the Peace Park in Hiroshima is terrifyingly quiet, I'm assuming. USS Barb? I might know the story, but the name of the ship, name of the boat um does not spark any memory. I would actually Japan is one of the few places I'm still interested in going to go see. Less interested than ever to go to Europe, less interested than ever than going to Greece and Turkey. Would still really like to go to Japan. Just because it's such a wildly different culture, and I don't know. Always thought it was pretty cool. Here, everything's ridiculously expensive, though. Whew, been 7 times. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. There is another Blaine. There is another Blaine. So we've got Blaine's Escape Corner, and then Blaine on the Facebook group. Only naval vessel with a confirmed kill on a train, and for the record, the record for tonnage sunk in a single day in the war. What did it torpedo a bridge while it was the torpedo the bridge? Both Blaines, maybe Weebs, maybe. Sounds like it. Barefoot Jen is an anime about the bombing that shows the horse. Blaine, are you new? I just figured it out, Blaine. I'm an idiot. Look up that electrician's video on USS Barb. No disappoint. I'll have to do that. No, not all Blaines are weebs. In fact, the last Blaine I knew, not a big fan of him. Not a big fan of him. Worked with him. One of those guys. You had a story, and he always had a story that was more that and he would go immediately into it and how kind of nonchalantly explain how it was more interesting than your story, but it was like right around the same thing. Um, yeah, kind of condescending. Otherwise a nice guy though. I mean, you're not gonna like not every night. You don't. I've had to tell this to somebody before. Good people can just not like each other sometimes. Sometimes just personalities just don't match up. And it's better just to understand that and not get in each other's way too much. Right? So You took all the best Blaine qualities. No, I think the best Blaine qualities still hadn't been taken yet because I think he's significantly older than you. Which is also odd because you don't really think about many older folks like your late boomers and early Gen Xers, anybody named Blaine. So anything I'm missing? Did somebody say something I missed? Good people who don't like each other are like, hey, no harm, no foul. Depends. I can be ornery. Of course, that's assuming that I'm a good person. I'm a good person. That's a big assumption there. But I can get ornery because I like to argue. I like to argue. And if I feel somebody slighted me, I'm quick to bite right back at them. And so it's kind of how it goes. More like Highlander, my birth rippled space time. At least that's how my mom explains my giant head. Oh, that's what. No, that just makes you the curly haired kid in the. So I married an axe murderer. In your giant pillow head. Terribly underappreciated these days comedian Mike Myers. I feel like a lot of people have forgotten how funny he was and how funny his movies were. Austin Powers 1 and 2, 3 was okay. 3 had a great opening, but Austin Powers 1 and 2 were just funny from beginning to end. Wayne's World 1 and 2 also very good. Also very good. He's just a funny guy. I think the last time anybody saw him, he was staring uncomfortably into the camera while Kanye West said that George Bush didn't care about black people during Hurricane Katrina fundraising. I don't think I've seen him since. It's kind of like Dane Cook. Dane Cook just disappeared one day, and I thought he was funny. I don't care if he used other people's jokes. I thought he was funny. I've told Eric Rollon, his voice reminds me of Dane Cook's. Mitch, you're trash. Nerdance, what do you call a midget thief climbing down a prison wall? A little condescending who doesn't think he'll be caught. I'm just kidding, Mitch. I will be on Mitch's channel in 45 minutes, which means I'm going to start wrapping this up soon. This has been pretty good. I was worried this was going to be a bit of a snooze fest. Y'all guys bringing in the great chat. Mitch said Mike Myers got stuck in the one trick pony paradigm when he is capable of so much more. I think he's shown that he's capable of so much more. I think that seeing him on Saturday Night Live proved that. So, I mean, to me, if you look at So I Married an Axe Murderer, and then you go from that to Wayne's World, and then you look at Austin Powers, they're all wildly different movies. Has GW ever caught Katrina and brought her to justice? No. One of the great fugitives from justice right there. Blaine, I'm going to repeat that to her, and she is going to crack up. The only step. You're the only snooze fest here, according to according to your wife. Yes. The chat knows, and he who knows the knows no nonsense or no sense. The channel. Oh yeah, sorry, Mitch. Got sidetracked because I got my ADHD going in hard right now. Yeah, I'm gonna be on Ridgedale brand. I don't think. I think Mitch. I think Arthur actually has that YouTube account near Nath. But yeah, I'm going to be on the Ridgedale brand channel. Me and Eric Rollon are going to be on there with Mitch and Arthur. The hat. We'll be on there chatting about the 10 Commandments. Let me snip that real quick, Blaine. I'm going to send that to her. She's going to get it. All right, guys. Well, this has been pretty interesting. I like this. We're going to do it again next time. Next Friday, I'm not going to be streaming, though. I do have other commitments. But the next time I do stream on a Friday, we're going to do this. I knew a kid who had ADHD so bad he memorized weird stuff, had a great memory, so we called him 1080 PhD. I like that. He's probably a doctor or a card counter by now. I do have a good memory about some things, and some things I absolutely cannot keep track of. It's very interesting. Okay, Arthur and I are co-owners. This is Mitch. Arthur, Arthur and I are co-owners of Ridgedale brand. I started my channel before we partnered, and I just use it now for my own identity when the chats are commenting. Okay. Blaine's Escape Corner Fun Time Friday is here. I send out my Restream Room link to the chat. No fear. Oh, and by the way, Blaine, if you ever want to share your own channel on here in the chat, by all means do so. If any of you guys do that, if any of you guys want to do that, go ahead. Nobody here that has participated just thus far has questionable channels that I know of, that I wouldn't say, oh yeah, that channel. So, all right, let's close up shop so I can get on with Ridgedale brand, and then maybe tonight I'll get to play some Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Play some of that. Blaine, I haven't watched your channel enough to find questionable stuff, but when I was on there, when I had it on, I was interested. So, seriously though, you can link here. I'm gonna make a Red Sox channel so I can promote here. I don't like the Red Sox, Nico, but if you knew me, you would know I hate the Cardinals the most, followed by the Cubs, followed by the Red Sox. The Bo Sox, Boston Bo Sox. Generic Sox. Anyway. All right, guys. Weekend's coming up. Make sure you take time to enjoy it. Make sure you do what you can. And thanks for coming out tonight and just chatting, just hanging out. I think sometimes it's good just to get a little off topic on things, and we'll go from there. Nico, I'll tell you what I hate all the time. Mitch says it's getting humid in here again. It's like a heavy fart without the smell. Well, you're not here, so you can't smell what I smell. Anyway, all right, you guys, be safe. I'll see you guys on Monday. Yeah, I think I'm streaming Monday. Plan is stream Monday. Y'all be good. Have a good weekend. Good night, and God bless.